Good morning, good afternoon.
Good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Um, Time flies, so we are expecting Saturday's training and group discussion hosted by Professor Zhang. So at this platform, you may get to know the knowledge about farming, about how to use the fertilizer, and other details in growing your crops and your plants. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, you're very welcome to raise your questions. So, we may enjoy a group discussion with Professor. So I hope that you also learned something from the previous section, actually presented by the two young presenters, also graduated from Nanjing Agriculture University, the same university that from which Dr. Deming Li graduated. So, are you ready for your questions? You may unmute yourself and ask directly, or you can text your questions in the chat box.
Yeah, good evening, good afternoon. I'm here. This is 9 o'clock in the morning, where everywhere is different. We're so cold. I can hold the temperature. Can you see?
No.
No? Well, the temperature is -2. Lower, the
Wow.
high is 6.
Wow.
And next several days, even -5. The highest is 4. Very cold. So you guys are lucky living in a warmer area, and we are cold here. We just passed the Thanksgiving holiday. It's the start of the New Year, well, total holiday season. Holiday season in US started from Thanksgiving, which is fourth Thursday of November. Then we continue to December 25th of the Christmas and the New Year. So I finish until a little bit over a month. This is the Christmas holiday season. One of another culture is called Black Friday. Black Friday, which is Friday after Thanksgiving. That day, normally in the store, everything is so cheap, half price. And in the past, we always want is that we go over there like 6 in the morning, line to get everything cheaper, and you got half of the Christmas shopping on Black Friday. So nowadays, but it's because of online issue. So it's we haven't gone to the Black Friday for a long time. So this is a U.S. culture. The whole season, holiday season, started this last Thursday. We went to New York. We didn't see the parade though. It's a huge celebration for the whole holiday season. And wish you all happy holiday season. So if anyone, any question we can discuss. Last time we talked about some macadamia and whatever else we talked. Let me see. Yeah, we talked about grafting, macadamia, all kind of in the last. So we hope we can get something, answer any questions you want to hear to see if solve any problems. So far, I don't see anything in the chat group, right? So Actually, I had a couple of questions. One thing was tobacco of NOP use. And some people kind of said, okay, we just use the NOPF. Some people said, now we need a combination of the other fertilizers. That is, have several issues, several things we need to consider about the tobacco. First, tobacco we are harvesting, we're always asking, what do we have? Fertilizer, we need to understand the fertilizer, we need to understand the crop, we understand the soil, we understand the weather. So we need to understand the whole ecosystem. Then we can make a good analysis to think what we should do. First question sometimes we ask for the crop, we ask, say, hey, what are I going to we harvest? We harvest the seeds or we harvest the leaves? And so this is sometimes we make a different choice. If we harvest the seeds or flower is in the productive stage, we will consider a lot of different nutrients. We need to think about what we promote the flowering, what we promote the seedling, all the fruits, we enlarge the fruits. For the tobacco, we are harvesting the leaves. When we're harvesting leaves, then we say, okay, we are allowed to consider about try to maximize the leaf, get them larger. Some tobacco plants can be like 6 feet, like my height. I'm a little bit shy of the 6 feet. So it's very tall. And we need a lot of leaves. With tobacco, we can, because our NOPF, okay, Mawoko, you raise your hand. Can you say, you want to say something? You can say.
All right, good afternoon from here in Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
Prof, I want to know if the fertilizer, the NOP, can work in the sanding area where there are a lot of sand. At my area here in Ghana, at the seaside, we have the sand so much. So other farmers over here use a lot of cow dung and other manures. So I want to know if fertilizer can work here without using the sand. That is the question I want to ask for now. Thank you.
We can. You have a lot of sun and they have a lot of animal manure, right?
Yes, a lot of sand that need more manure before the crops can work effectively.
Yeah, I don't know. It was salt or sunlight.
Yes, the sand, meaning the ground, the land that we have not enough
sand.
manure.
You have a lot of
Yes,
sand,
a sandy
right?
area, yeah.
You have sandy soil. Yeah, that thing is very important. For the soil type, you have sandy soil, you have a clay soil, you have all kinds of different soil. When you, especially for the sandy soil, you are not holding any water, any nutrients. It's hard. You can lose your soil or fertilizer or nutrients very fast as soon as it's raining. So that case, you can, the best for your NOPF, because you're sandy soil, you should apply more, try to put on the leaf, on the foliage instead of for the soil. We are spraying on the leaf anyway. So this is the best for fit, especially for the sandy soil. And also, if you can improve, you have a lot of organic manure, you can improve soil make it sandy little bit stick, then it will be better. Because sandy soil is good for blueberry. If we want to plant blueberry, but a lot of other plants, if we're too sandy, they don't hold the nutrients. So then this way, will be, if you can add a lot of organic manure put into soil, your soil will be better. And also, it's hard to change. If we add any clay, is that too much work? It's too expensive. Normally, you understand your soil. If we add as much as you can of your organic manure, make a little bit change for your soil texture. And also, if you put back of your crop, when you crop, you will harvest it. And it will over crop residue, the stalks, all the leaves, if we let them put it back into soil, they can increase a little bit of the soil organic material. Then you can improve your soil structure. And for this situation, I'm not encouraged to allow the conventional fertilizer into the soil, like NPK. If we put a lot of NPK in the soil, you will lose them. You only put a minimum, put only the amount you need, put into the sandy soil when you need it, especially after the roots set up, established. You got enough roots, then you can apply some NPK in the soil to cover. Don't put too much at all. Most time, we put NPK in the soil, let them stay long time, especially for the P and K, and let the microorganism in the soil to work on your P and K, make them available for like a month or 2 months later. For the sandy soil, you cannot put too much in the soil. You don't expect too much microorganisms in the soil to work for you. So don't put too much in the soil, only put a little bit. Especially for the N, for the nitrogen, you don't want to put just for the minimum. It's enough. So you will try to shoot for the sandy soil. You try shooting as much as you can to spray on the leaf, because your soil is not holding fertilizer. And then your leaf is only place can take your fertilizer. So this case, the best situation is for liquid fertilizer. It happened to be NOPF. So lucky we have NOPF used for the sandy soil plants. So you can use it, definitely is the best bet for your NOPF for all your sandy soil. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, so that's why we always needed to analyze, ask what soil I have, what crop I have, do I have organic material in the soil? So we will keep always asking these basic questions. After asking for a long time, you will be automatic, like me. I haven't, I did a lot of agriculture, research agriculture farming. I have farm. I do a lot of agriculture. I teach for 50 years for agriculture, but I still have some crops, especially for the tropical plants. I don't have a lot of experience on some plants, like coffee. I never planted. So how do you know this? Then you buy basic scientific analysis of your soil, your crop, your fertilizer, your pests, everything in the agriculture system. Then you will be minimize your cost, maximize your benefits. Then you will get your solution. So that's the agriculture consultant, the job. And Okay, I have another question for raise the question, Liz. You can ask her.
Yeah, good evening. My question is the composition of K in our fertilizer, because I was marketing to an organization which is doing some onions. They are doing leafy onions here in Kenya. They are exporting. They asked me the composition of K. I believe also I have also met another person who was asking the composition of N and P and K in our fertilizer. Thank you.
NPF fertilizer is basically contain more than 10% of the amino acids, which amino acids is composed. It's a natural product of the digested from the proteins, kind of like contain everything, but mostly if we have to group them, and we group them into the N nitrogen more, but we still have P and K. Its amount is relatively lower than the conventional fertilizer, because we have our fertilizer come from all the natural animal and plant materials. For the plants, they have C, the carbon, N, nitrogen, P, potassium, K, potassium, P, phosphorus. They kind of have a complete nutrients range in the fertilizer. So have all major amino acids, but it still have all others. For P and K, the value is lower than the conventional fertilizer. The conventional fertilizer, maybe we have around 4 or 5%. All depends on which batch, what you get one batch NPF from one place one time, and next batch maybe have some different, but we will have less than 5% of P and K. You have more than 10% of the amino acids, and also plus you have a lot of new micronutrients in the fertilizer. If we buy a conventional fertilizer, you only have NPK 3 because they are chemical fertilizer. They don't put any additional in it. We have everything in it. For the macro, fertilizer we have 3 kinds: macro, like NPK, micro, and have some middle class. So this is have on micro, and then have little bit everything for trace elements. We have a lot of trace elements in it. All these micro and trace elements are a lot of enzyme activity, very important for the biomedical procedures. For a plant, they want nutrients. They need all kinds of nutrients. The largest quantity of the nutrients, they need water, air. You don't laugh at me, but they are water, air, carbon, the C. Why people think why we need a lot of C? Yes. Actually, all this, the sugar is CO. If your sugar is C6O6H something, so they have the C actually is most important. People don't realize when you need a lot of carbon, where the carbon coming from? Why we don't fertilize the carbon? One thing the carbon come from air, from sunlight, from the photosynthesis, from CO2. For the CO2 plus sunlight, they produce sugar. So this is one of the C come from. Another C come from is when you harvest if the corn, take your corn hair seeds out, all the corn stalks, you should put a compost or put it back to the soil. Let them if we bury them. And as they say, all the harder one, all the corn stalks, they are fibers. They are seeds. And this seed is so important. You know why? Because even the long fibers, they are sugars or the carbohydrates. When you put in the soil, you not necessarily feed your plants right now. You actually feed your microorganism in the soil. Microorganisms, they need to work for you, but they need before they work for you, they need to start to eating. They need to survive, so they need food. Where the food? The food is we feed them the carbons, the corn stalks, everything, animal manure, corn manure, all animal manure, all stuff into the soil. When we feed all this manure, green manure, and plant residues back to the soil, we serve two purposes. One is the most important is we feed the microorganisms. We feed these earthworms. We feed all these little ones, creatures in the soil. They break it down all this big component, big manure. If you like it, then they can actually, when they break it down, they feed themselves. They didn't want to help you, but they want to help themselves. After they feed everything, your corn stalks, your manure is all gone. Then they die. All the bacteria, fungi die. When they die, they all become proteins, amino acids, everything in the soil. All the water-soluble nutrients in the soil. And then the plants can use them. So the seed is so important. One time I was asked, what do you think is termites? Termites a beneficiary or the pest? Most of the people, if you're a homeowner, if we have a house, what do you think?
Pest.
The termites, what do you think?
To the house, they're pests.
Pest,
Because they destroy the structure, the bricks and the concrete, and the floor.
Yes. So in US, the termites is a kind of a #1 pest because we have, like in southern states, like Florida University, Louisiana State University, they have termite specialists to help the homeowners. They go out to spray termites every weekend. These 4 professors. From Monday to Friday, they are professors. Saturday and Sunday, they are pest control specialists. They make sideline money. The termites are the biggest pest for the homeowners. But for actually humankind, for the earth, for the globe, for the whole entire world, termites is the best, the largest beneficiaries. They can decompose. They eat a lot in the tropical area, all these trees, all this stuff. If we don't have the termites, a lot of trees, a lot of plants, and they will be everywhere always. So they actually can totally change these things into the nutrients for the soil. So termites, they are best beneficiaries, same time as the worst pests. So keep in mind, in the soil, these organisms, these little earthworms, all this, we need to feed them. So we feed them and they feed us. They feed the plants feed us. So we help each other, totally a nice circle. Did I forget what I will ask? What she was asked, and I go by. Oh, yeah, for the content, for the fertilizer content. So the carbon is the most important. And for the NPK, these are the largest nutrients, we cannot get it from soil too much. And so that's why I feed them. We do fertilizer for the conventional fertilizer. For the amino acids, MNOPF, we need to use combination with the conventional fertilizer or green manure or animal manure. This way, we kind of balance, compensate each other. The NPK manure stuff work into the soil. They need large quantities. NOPF, we started working when the seedlings established. Then we started spray. And we spray, keep in mind, we talk about the tobaccos. NOPF, we have two different, some regional offices have two different blend variety of the NOPF. When you say, I need to work on, use it on the tobaccos, you need to tell them. So I need to work some good for tobaccos. Then they give you different. All the NOPF is good for every crops, but some NOPF will be much better for tobaccos. So if you can tell the regional manager, they can give you different. And tobaccos, we harvest, we are said with amino acids important. Amino acids can, more than 10% amino acids, they consider as nitrogen, mostly nitrogen, not only nitrogen, have PK2 for all the trace elements, but we group them, the nitrogen fertilizer. So if you spray a lot of NOPF, your leaf will be very green, very large. For the fruiting, for the fruits, for the either you harvest seeds, the plants, you don't spray too much NOPF in the later season because we group them on N-bias group. If you give them too much signal, that I want you to grow a lot of greens, I want you to grow a lot of green leaves, then they will keep give you all the green stuff, green leaf, well tall, and they may forget to change it to the blooming flowering season, produce seeds. We will be delayed or whatever. So in the early season, you put a lot. In the later season, you should go in lower. So the concentration, you buy concentration. In the early time, the seedling is so tiny. We suggest 1 to 1 liter ratio for NOPF. In the early season, you can put half of the dose. In the peak season, the peak green stuff, green leaf season, you can put it in maybe 1.5 or even 2x. When the later season, we started blooming or starting the fruits, you maybe put a little bit back too. So kind of like a concentration, you go that way. The peak at the greens time. In the early time, because your seedling is so small, you could put it less. And the later season, you put it less too. So this way, you don't waste money. We do agriculture, we want to help the farmers. And the farmers say, you really want to help me, I'm going to trust you. Then I come back, buy more from you. If we don't tell them, don't teach them, you said, I don't know, I don't care, that's your crop. Then your trust relationship will be not that great. So what we train you, and then you teach, you help, you acting as an agriculture consultant to your clients, to your farmers, then they all buy products from you. That's why a lot of county or township agriculture specialists or actually have some agriculture consultant firm, some specialists. Actually, I met one of the forest specialists last on 20th. So he is a private company. He help farmers to plant, to give you the guidance to what tree species you want to plant. So we trusted him because he knows what you need to plant. Because of trust, so when I buy plants, I will buy plants from him. So when you become an agriculture specialist, you understand every agriculture stuff. If you don't understand it, it's like, okay, I'm taking your question. I don't know. You have to be honest. I'm honest. So I cannot answer all your questions, but I will let you know next time because I can do a little more studying. I'm a PhD. I have several master degrees. I have bachelor's degrees. I have 1.5, almost 2 PhDs. So I know how to learn, how to scientifically get all the information. And a government employee. So a lot of people don't get the very nice, good research results. I can get it because I have internal link to get all these nice papers. Some papers you can get from online, you have to pay. And I'm the actual internal people, so I can get all the free information. So actually, a lot of courses I taught, most courses I learned by myself. When you have enough education, you will be, what you learned not necessarily give you all the knowledge, but it gives you the framework to think, to how to learn. Then you will get everything. So when your clients, your farmers, to ask you, take all your questions. You can tell them that, yes, this I know, that or I don't know, but I take your question. I will back check with my, friends, or I check with the professors, and I get back to you next time. So you build a nice trusted relationship, and everybody come back to ask you, buy fertilizer, and if in the future buy herbicides, pesticides, we can teach pesticides like insecticides, fungicides, herbicides in the future. We can, if we like, we can talk about that too. And you know almost everything about agriculture, like not only fertilizer, like pruning. How do you pruning them? How do you seed in them? Actually, I got a question said soak seeds. Okay, let me see. One question is, how can I please can one apply the fertilizer on the cowpeas? Yes, you can apply the NOP on cowpeas. Let me see other questions. Okay, sandy soil, I did. Always come across the questions where people ask, can I use this fertilizer on its own? You can use fertilizer on it. Does that mean I'm no longer in need of the base fertilizer? No, do you still need a base fertilizer? Yes or no? If no, what I one time is no. If you register as organic farming, and if you sell the products, they only take 100% organic fruits and vegetables. You cannot use base NPK. You only can use organic fertilizers, which means NOPF on the after the seedling started, and organic manure, animal manure, and green manure into as a base. This is a no. When do I need a base fertilizer? You say no, because you are registered. You are not allowed to use chemical fertilizer. If you use, you will not be able to sell your fruits and vegetables or flowers to Europe. If you are not registered, you are not selling totally 100% organic fertilizer fruits, then yes, you will need a base fertilizer like NPK, because they will be maximized your yield. The combination of conventional fertilizer and NOPF will be produce the best yield and also the cheapest way. It's more economic. If you only use organic, sometimes more expensive. You may need to put some NPK in the soil even, but if your soil is sandy soil, you don't want to use it, or use the minimum. If you sandy or clay a little bit more, you can very rich soil, you can hold the fertilizer, you can hold the water, then you can use more, put more fertilizer into the soil. Soil will keep your fertilizer as a reservoir. Whenever you need it, plants need it, and they will be available. Believe me or not, believe it or not, about NPK you put in the soil, you may only can be used about 30%, or 70% are either lost, wasted, or just not available. Why? A lot, and especially the nitrogen, when you put in the soil, if you don't cover, if you big farm, you cannot cover it. You're just spreading the NPK on the surface of the soil, under the sun, they evaporate. They lost it. The raining come in, they wash it, they run it like flooding, they wash it away. This is the lost part. And what's not is not available. When you even cover all your NPK in the soil, if your soil is not moist, if not enough water in the soil, they are not available for plant to use. For especially for the N, you need water. For P and K, even water is not enough. Why? And N is water soluble. And as soon as you got water, they become water solution, water nitrogen solution. The plants can soak it up. You don't want a high concentration. You need to stay away from roots. You have to avoid direct contact your fertilizer with the roots. So you put it on the side. If you have fruit trees, you put on the drop line, along the drop line, and they dig a ditch. You put the fertilizer in the cover, you need to water them. If you don't water them, even you put a whole bag of fertilizer in the soil, will not work. So the water is a lot of times more important than the fertilizer. So you need to put the base fertilizer in the soil, and you have enough water to make them available. For the P and K, a lot of times they are not water soluble anyway. When you put it into the soil, they need microorganisms or something else take a month or 2 months to be available for plants to use. P and K is sometimes called the next season fertilizer. You put it right now, you're not getting it right now. You will next crop, 2 months later or 3 months later, that crop, that roots will pick up your P and K. So the best one is make a combination of your conventional fertilizer plus after the seedlings established, then you start spraying NOPF until you start the blooming season. The peak blooming season, you should stop. Don't put it too late. If you put it too late, you will plants will got a wrong signal. You said, oh, you want me still glowing green now. So this is why combination will be best. Some are still having issues of 1 liter being sufficient for hectare. For how much fertilizer 1 hectare is totally depends. Like do we need basic fertilizer, I say yes or no. Do you need a 1 liter per hectare or 2 liter or 3 liter? Depends. Yeah, you said you are not giving me any answer. Yes, I will not give you any answer. You have to make adjustment. 1 liter is kind of like give you a starting point to think about. It all depends on the leaf size. If your tobacco is already 6 feet tall, and you give you 1 liter, you spray only 1 corner. When seedling is only that size, you don't need that much. So it totally depends on your foliage, your plant density. It's a lot of factors have to be considered into the calculation how much you need. What's the budget? What's the stock you need to be prepared before your season? When you have 1 year experience for that crop, for your location, if you're planting to do next year anyway, why don't you buy 2 more liters? Then you know. Give you an example. My first time when I teach, that I was 2 weeks after I finished graduate school. And my boss, he was my advisor to say, okay, now the course, ecology course, I was teaching ecology course, said, this ecology course will be yours. I'm going to just teach the seminar. What is seminar? Seminar is just a literature research. So every student read 30 papers and they give you a talk. And if we 10 students, every student give 1 presentation per week. And the whole semester will be 10 students take turns. This is called a seminar. So he's just teaching that course. You don't need to do anything. And he said, okay, Jason, that's all the ecology courses is yours. I said, my first lecture, and I have to prepare. I prepare 4 hours course. Writing this is at that time we didn't have a computer, and everything by handwriting. Keep writing, don't like tear it off. Writing another page, because when I teach that course, I had some enough knowledge to grasp all the course for the teach, but it was not a copy for my previous, the course I took it totally different. So I want to teach it the way I want. I think I have to, I'm a new professor. I have to teach the most updated ecology science. I don't want to copy my previous professor's notes. I had his notes, but these are all the basic stuff. These are from 10 years ago, 20 years ago. When he teaches 20 years, he will not update his lecture notes. He will repeat the same thing for 30 years. But I'm the new professor. I have to be prepared, everything new, up to cutting edge. This year, last month, what's the best ecology? This ecology course is different from high school. High school, you can get all the old knowledge, but the college, you have to be the today's knowledge. So I prepare 4 hours. I finish in less than 2 hours, so all my notes is gone. So you have to prepare a lot, then you will get enough. So when you are going to prepare to plant the same thing next year in the same field, why don't you grab 2 more bottles? This way, you have a test. Then you make a note. Said, okay, this size, I only used half liter for my hectare. And when the leaf a little bit larger, I need a liter. The third time I spray, I need a liter half. The fourth time I need 2 liters. So you make a note. So this will help you budget next year, because you prepared extra for your plant for the growing season. Then you will have enough to handle. Of course, if your regional office is so close to you, You can do one bottle at a time. If we need the next time, I could give them a call, give me another bottle. But you need to consider about the transportation, shipping fees. All this adds up. Why don't you get another bottle as a backup? So when you consider bottles you need per hectare, make a little bit extra. And because even I'll tell you 4 liters, because I want to sell you something, and I don't want to get to be blamed later. So of course I'll tell you more, but it may be worth your money. Also, the fertilizer is not expiring. The more, I don't know what's the requirement for each country. In US, normally you support everything, you put a stick for the best buy. So what's the best buy? Your production dates to expiration dates 2 years. Come on, fertilizer, who cares? It's not you drinking your food. I drink expired stuff all the time. The tea, I drink very expired. A lot of stuff, cookies are expired, who cares? So medicine, you care. For the something chemicals, you can change the structure over the time, you care. For the food, for the nutrients, as long as it's not spoiled. Okay. Fertilizer. Yeah. Fertilizer. Plants
Hey.
eat.
Now have you made the bed? We're going to sleep.
Okay. And for plants to eat, plants they don't die if over. But you make sure before you spray, you check it to see if the quality becomes sticky from becomes spoiled, then that may not be good. Otherwise, as long as it looks good, it's okay. So this is about that. Okay, I have a client who wants to buy fertilizer, but I don't know how can explain to this client to use it. We Miss Zhang and Miss Ming, they gave 2 presentations for the last 2 periods. So they are 2 new lectures. And I have been discussing about all the basic fertilizers for several years. So if your client is too new, tell them first, you trust this product. Organic, safe, efficient. It's more than fertilizer. You have to carefully trust. It will work you good. It's good. Second, tell them this is a liquid fertilizer. It's not a solid fertilizer. It's the best used on the liquid, on the plants, on the leaves, not in the soil. If you can use soil, of course you can use it, but it's not economic wise. So most economic efficient is spray on the leaf. And third, this fertilizer is good for every crop, anything. The fertilizer is a nutrient, is a food for plants. Like we eat rice, all the food, doesn't matter you are African, Asia, European, American people, they all need food. Just some people eat something different, but they all need basic food. Fertilizer, every crop need a fertilizer. So you're safe, doesn't matter. It's, as long as you're a farmer, you will be able to use it. Then you can talk to him, what exact question you have, and I can discuss with you. And if I don't know, I ask my professor. How about that? Okay, Mawuki, you raise your hand again. You can say it.
All right. Thank you, Professor, for the lectures. Once again, I want to ask, in my country here, Ghana, we have 2 types of farmers. We have those who do the seasonal farming, meaning they depend on the rainfall. And also we have the irrigation. Now, my question is based on the seasonal farmers. Are they also, is it suitable for them to use the fertilizer, the NPF fertilizer? And if yes, they can use it. And which quantity? Are they also going to apply it like the way the organic, the irrigation people are going to use it?
Okay.
That is my question, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For the seasonals, the best part is, actually, we don't encourage farmers to use fertilizer during the dry season too much, because you make sure your moisture, your water have enough. You should use at the growing season. If not growing, if your plants going dormant, don't use it. So that's you can use, like I just said, every plant can use it. For the irrigation part, that's tricky. How much should I put for the irrigation, for the drip system? That's a very difficult question. You have to be tested. But one thing you can, first, you are putting your fertilizer into the water, to the system, and you want to know the concentration. You don't want how much liter per hour or per one time put in it. The question is, this is not a pesticide. It's not a drug. It's a fertilizer. It's a food. So you prefer go less, start a little bit. You can feed very little, or as long as you don't feed too much. You will never hurt if you feed little bit at a time. So you can put a less, minimum. Don't put too much, as long as a couple drop maybe. Because the fertilizer, we want to be small amount, many times. Always little adds up. Don't give them too much. Give them too much, you waste it. You waste the money. Plants you cannot take that much anyway. And if you have insecticides, pesticides, you have pesticide dosage. If we don't give enough pesticides, you will do a selection on your insects. And next time, you will not be able to kill them. Like when you use antibiotics for ourselves for our infection. If the doctor said you need to take 1 pill a time, 3 times a day, you have to follow. You cannot do 1 pill a day. You cannot skip. If you skip it too much, your bacteria in your body will be starting at first resistance. Next time they will give you take more antibiotics, it will not work. For the pesticides, the same thing. You cannot spray half of the concentration. For the fertilizer, I prefer you use less. So safe is to put a little bit more. Who cares? I put less. No hurts. If we put too much, your budget, you don't have enough money, and the plants don't take that money. So don't that much anyway. So put a little bit each time. So start with a little. If we have adjustment for the dropping system, you can put a minimum, put a lowest the concentration. It will be safe. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir, Professor. Thank you so much.
Okay. So this good part of the fertilizer. You have to think about it. This is a food. This is not a drug. Food, I can eat it. If I'm so hungry, I can take 1 bowl of the rice, or I can take 1 spoon of the rice, right? You take 1 spoon, come back, take another spoon, doesn't matter. But if your pesticides is different. So fertilizer is plant food. You take as much as you can Go little, but a little bit each time. Now the too much, you waste your money. You don't have money to waste it. Okay, somebody cannot hear me. I don't know what I can do. Help you. I'm dealing with Eli farmers, so I wanted to know exactly the nutrients. Okay, that's how I think I answered that question. If you want exact nutrients, you should get a copy of your report, analytical report of fertilizer from your regional office. And each batch or each group, your NOPF should have a report what you have in the system. Yeah, so yeah, something you want to ask for share certificate, yes. Okay. I'm glad that you guys raised all the questions. We discussed. If we cannot, we didn't answer you, we can talk more in 2 weeks. So happy holiday season. If no more questions, we can stop today.
Okay, thank you. So thank you very much. Here's still one more question to Mr. Budiman to share with WhatsApp group agent. Actually, we do have one report which been issued by the third party of one of the Chinese laboratory, but like what Professor has just mentioned, that you need an official report from your, the unit where a fertilizer is registered in your country. Surely, your laboratory is going to issue a report on this composition. So, which country you're from? We can talk to the general manager to see
Ghana.
whether we can. You're from Ghana, right? No, this madam from Madam Machingura, Flavin. Which country you're from? Can you please text it? Okay, I'm going to copy this. I'm
South
going
Africa.
to yeah. Okay, I'm going to copy this, and then South Africa. Okay, very good. I'm going to contact Miss Glory and see whether we can get one from the government, where the fertilizer is registered in South Africa. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Special thanks to Professor. We can, unmute yourself and see good night. Well, actually, good day. Good day and happy holiday season to Professor. So happy holiday season, Professor. Enjoy the Christmas season.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Thank you, bye.
Bye.
We see you next Saturday. Next Saturday will be hosted by one of the ladies, one of the lectures. So we see you next week. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye from Zambia.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Good day.
Thank you. Bye.